Hello folks, Pipeman 1861 here. I trust you all have had a good week. I certainly have. Everything's gone pretty smooth, and I'm thankful for that. I am sitting here, very muggy, and seems like it's thinking about raining. Although, admittedly, I have not checked the weather. Been kind of scared to. Tonight I'm smoking cowboy coffee from the Country Squire Tobacconist in Jackson, Mississippi. I'm smoking it in this little French pipe with really pretty carvings on it. At least I'm pretty sure it's French. It's veritable, all it's marked as is veritable Briar with B-R-U-Y-E-R-E spelling. So the French spelling of Briar. So it cleaned up nice. It's a pretty pipe. It is good for it to be Friday. I am ready for the weekend. We've had a full week. Did a lot more work on the chicken coop. Got the roof put on it. Once it's finished up more or less, I'll take a picture of it and show you all. It's a classy looking little chicken coop. But I very seldom give out advice to anybody. I'm going to give you all this one, little tidbit. If you ever feel the urge to put a metal roof on a chicken coop at night after dark with a headlamp, I wouldn't personally recommend it. Particularly not if you're afraid of heights. I got the first half of the roof put on, one of the angles before dark. The other half, it got dark. Of course, with the metal roofing, you got the two halves of the surface of the roof made up of panels, and then you have a ridge cap that goes on top of it. Well, by the time I got to the ridge cap, it was completely and utterly dark. And it's a pretty tall chicken coop. It's kind of tall and skinny, if you will, up on stilts. And I was up there straddling that silly roof, trying to get all the sheet metal screws put in it. Pitch black. I was doing my very best not to slide off the roof. It was fun. It was loads of fun. So, I got it done. I didn't die, obviously. I can still walk, have feeling in all my body parts, so I'm doing okay. But, just have some work to do on the siding. I have to install the automatic door and the nesting boxes. And after that, we'll be done with it. We have 10 little baby, well, they're pullets now, they're older chickens. They're still little babies. Have them in a large cardboard box with their feeder and water. So they're raring to go, so it'll be good to get the chickens moved out of the janky coop they're in right now and into a decent one. Bees are doing good. I think I told you all this, but just in case I forgot, I had to split one of our hives. One of the hives was decided that it was a great idea to swarm. And in case you all don't know, or some of you don't know, if a honeybee hive decides that there's not enough room left in there for them, and if they have a surplus of food and a surplus of little babies, the old queen will take half the bees and leave and find another home. Then the existing hive, the rest of the bees will make a new queen. Well, when you're shooting for getting honey, you don't want that to happen, because then you won't have as many bees to make you honey. Unfortunately, whenever bees get it in their little heads to swarm, it's kind of hard to convince them otherwise. There's some things you can do to put it off, but you can't really permanently dissuade them. So the fix is to take the queen and about half the bees and put them in another beehive, kind of a controlled swarm, to where we at least keep the bees. So now we have 4 hives instead of 3. But they seem to be doing good. The new queen seems to be laying, so they're making progress there. And what do you think? Next couple of days, 209 Piper, I am going to mail out your prize. I'm almost done with the pipe. I'm sorry. It's been such a busy week. I haven't had time to work on it in the evenings. I am just about done with it, though. Everything else has left to do is cosmetic. All the structural repairs are all finished. But no, everything's going good. Going to a baby shower tomorrow. My wife's cousin's having a baby. Let me see. Sorry about that. End of July, I believe, is when she's due. So end of June, early July maybe. So we're going to her baby shower tomorrow. That'll be nice. And yeah, onward and upward. It's been one of those weeks where we've been really busy, but there really hasn't been anything exciting happen, you know. But it is what it is. Sorry about that, folks. My next door neighbor was waving at me. I wanted to say howdy to him. We have really good neighbors. We're really blessed with them. You know, you have good neighbors when your tree falls on their fence and they, you know, don't yell at you. I do want to share with you, I've come to a conclusion. This is a pipe conclusion. You know, one of the most polarizing subjects in pipe smoking are stingers, those little metal doohickeys on the ends of your stem whenever you pull it out. Well, you either love them or you hate them. I guess there are some people who are indifferent to them, but mostly it's you love them or you hate them. Well, I'm going to tell you the purpose of them, okay? Now, people will tell you to take them out of the stem, throw them over your shoulder. That's fine, whatever. Stingers, and this is like kind of a little bit of a public service announcement. Stingers will make a pipe gurgle, okay? If there's a stinger in a pipe, it's going to gurgle. It's just the way it is. It's going to gurgle not from moisture in the bottom of the bowl, mind you. It's going to gurgle from moisture being on the stinger. The purpose of a stinger is to keep that juice from coming up the stem and getting in your mouth. That's what a stinger's for. That's why, if you know anything about K-Woody pipes, that's why they called their line of pipes the K-Woody drinkless, because you don't get a drink. It doesn't come, the nasty juice doesn't get in your mouth. It will gurgle in there. It's going to gurgle. This one isn't right now, as a matter of fact. It has a stinger in it. But the nasty liquid will not get to your mouth. It will not come out of the stem. It'll stay right here. That's the purpose of a stinger. More of a proper term for them would be a condenser, because that's what it is. The hot smoke hits the cold metal and it causes the moisture in the smoke to condense on the metal, and it stays there and lets the dry smoke come through the stem. You probably can hear this thing gurgling a little. And I don't like a pipe to gurgle, mind you. And I pulled the stinger out of this stem just to test it. I always do that with any of these old pipes. I usually leave the stingers in them. But guess what? The pipe did not gurgle, but the juice came right up the stem and got in my mouth. And it tastes not fun. So that is the purpose of a stinger on a pipe. It does not prevent gurgling. As a matter of fact, they really cause gurgling, but it keeps the juice from getting in your mouth. Just like a pipe filter does. The only difference is it doesn't really filter out anything other than the moisture, you know. But that's what a paper filter is supposed to do anyway. Just thought I'd share my thoughts with that, you know. But gurgle or not, this pipe actually smokes very well. I like a tighter draw or a tighter draft hole in my pipes. I don't know why, I just like the feel of it. And this certainly does have a tight draft hole. I did want to mention also, I got a comment on my videos, I cannot remember who made it, but it was when I was smoking that meerschaum. And the fella commented that he thought that I had packed the pipe too tight because it looked like I was struggling to draw on the pipe. Now, I have yet to go back and watch that video and see what he was talking about. I always test the draft or the draw of a pipe before I light it. And I don't really know, it may have looked to him like I was struggling to get air through it, but air was flowing through that pipe just fine. There wasn't a problem. There may have been, there was, if I remember right, at least, I don't know if it was this one video, but there was a piece of tobacco that got stuck in the airway. And it plugged it up a little bit, and I was having, so that may have been what he was talking about. But as far as my packing of the pipe goes, I have packed too tight before. But I have never packed so tight, at least not for a good long while now. I never pack so tight that I cannot get air through it. At least not air easily, you know. Now, I still occasionally pack so tight that it won't burn correctly. Get some of the ash off the top of this. I will occasionally pack it to where it won't burn correctly, but if I do pack a pipe so tight that it does not draw very well, I will loosen up the tobacco before I light it. But no, I appreciate your concern, sir, and thank you so much. But no, I don't think the packing was not the issue. That meerschaum pipe does have a fairly tight draft hole. I will say that. It has a fairly restricted draw, which I know a lot of people wouldn't like very much. I like it myself, but it's not for everybody. But anyway. Figured I better talk about something related to pipes, you know. But anyway, well, I guess I had better let you folks go. I've rambled on long enough. As always, this is Pipe Man, 1861, saying goodbye, good luck, may the good Lord take a liking to you. I will see you all again very soon, and as always, happy smoking. Bye, folks. Thanks for watching.